Good morning, students. Okay, so we have completed till thermodynamics. Okay, in the second book, elasticity, the mechanical properties of fluids. Then we left the next chapter, that is the thermal properties of matter. Okay, then we are done thermodynamics. We have completed. The next chapter is kinetic theory of gases. This chapter will take it in the end. After completing these two chapters, oscillations and waves. Okay, so today let's start with oscillations. Okay, in oscillations, first let's study about two types of motions, periodic motion and oscillatory motion. There is a difference between these two types of motions. Okay, periodic motion is the motion which the motion which repeats itself after regular intervals of time. Okay, so the motion which repeats itself after regular intervals of time. The example is repeats after regular time intervals. Such a motion we call it as periodic motion. Okay, examples are like the rotation of the earth about its axis. It is also completing its motion after a regular interval of time. After every 24 hours, it is repeating its motion. Or the revolution of the earth around the sun, that is also the periodic motion after 365 days. Again, it is repeating itself. Okay, the motion of a simple pendulum, that is also a periodic motion. This motion repeats itself after regular intervals of time. So such a motion we call it as the periodic motion. Whereas oscillatory motion is the motion which moves to and fro about its mean position. It moves to and fro about its mean position, or you can say it moves back and forth about its mean position. For example, motion of a simple pendulum. It is moving to and fro about its mean position. So such a motion we call it as the oscillatory motion. So periodic motion is the one which repeats itself after regular intervals of time, and the oscillatory motion is the one which is moving to and fro about its mean position. Such a motion we call it as the oscillatory. So these are the two types of motions. Okay, now all oscillatory motions are periodic. Okay, every oscillatory motion is periodic. For example, the motion of a simple pendulum, it is moving to and fro and it is repeating itself after regular intervals of time. So all oscillatory motions are periodic, whereas all periodic motions are not oscillatory. For example, the rotation of the earth about its axis, it is a periodic motion, but it is not an oscillatory motion. It's a periodic motion, but not an oscillatory motion. It's not moving to and fro about its mean. Okay, now here we'll discuss harmonic and non-harmonic function or non-harmonic motion. Okay, harmonic motion. Again, the motion which is repeating itself after regular intervals of time is like a periodic motion or an oscillatory motion. Okay, now the motion, oscillatory motions are periodic. So, any function which is repeating itself after regular intervals of time, that is the harmonic motion. And we know that sine and cosine terms, sine and cosine, they always repeat after regular intervals of time. If you see, the sine curve starts from 0, okay, and for after one complete cycle, it ends at 0. The cosine curve is starts from maximum and ends at maximum. Okay, so these are repeating after regular intervals of time. So such motions we call it as harmonic or non-harmonic. Now here harmonic means it is having a single term. Any periodic motion which is having a single term, that is a harmonic motion. Okay, which is a mixture of frequencies having 2 or 3 terms, that is called as the non-harmonic motion. Let's see an example. The displacement can be written as some amplitude, we are coming to it, amplitude into sine some theta is equal to omega. Okay, now here there is only one term. So it is a harmonic motion, or the function we call it as the harmonic motion. If the displacement is given as A sin omega t plus B sin 2 omega t plus C sin some constant, say we see some values also sin 3 omega t. Now here it is a mixture of 2 or 3 terms. So this is non-harmonic function or such a function, such a motion we call it as the non-harmonic motion. So oscillatory motions, harmonic, may be harmonic or non-harmonic. Okay, now if it is having a single term, harmonic. If it is a mixture of 2 or 3 terms, then it is a non-harmonic. So all oscillatory motions are periodic. Okay, and these sine and cosine terms we can use it for periodic functions to represent periodic motion. Okay, now if it is having a single term, harmonic. Mixture of terms, that is mixture of frequencies here, omega, here 2 omega, here 3 omega, so it's a mixture of frequencies. Then such a motion or such a function we call it as non-harmonic motion or the non-harmonic. Okay, so all oscillatory motions, periodic functions are sine or cosine because they are related. So we can use sine or cosine functions for periodic motions. Okay, now this periodic of the oscillatory motion may be harmonic, may be non-harmonic. Harmonic, if only one single term is there, mixture of terms are there, that will be non-harmonic. Okay, now here we come to the important type of motion which we have to study in this chapter, which is simple harmonic motion. Simple harmonic motion. So simple harmonic, as we know that it will be represented by sine or cosine term. A simple harmonic motion okay, first we'll take the example. The example of simple harmonic motion is simple pendulum. Then we'll come to its definition. Okay, it's very easy to understand. So this is a simple pendulum. Then it is taken to a point B, that is taken to the extreme position, and perform oscillating motion, that is it will move to and fro about its mean position. And such a motion is periodic motion. Oscillating motions are periodic. Okay, now here, then it is taken from here that displacement is measured from the mean position. Away from the mean position is the displacement. When it is at this position, a force is acting on it, which is trying to bring back to its mean position. Such a force we call it as the restoring force, which is trying to restore the body. So this force we call it as the restoring force. So displacement measured away from the mean position. The force which is trying to bring back to its mean position is the restoring force. So here the motion is due to the restoring force because it doesn't keep on moving like this. It will come back to its mean position. So the motion is due to the restoring force. And more you displace, more the restoring force will have to come back to its mean position. So this restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement. The restoring force, as you can see, is directly proportional to the displacement. Now you can see the directions, the direction of the restoring force and the displacement of opposite. So here we can put on negative sign. So now we define the simple harmonic motion that it is an oscillatory motion in which the particle moves due to the restoring force, which is directly proportional to negative of displacement. Okay, so you can write down a motion, an oscillatory motion in which the particle moves due to the restoring force. The particle moves due to the restoring force, which is directly proportional to negative of displacement. Which is directly proportional to negative of displacement. That is restoring force and displacement are in opposite direction. That is restoring force and displacement are in opposite direction. Write down displacement is measured away from the mean position. Displacement is measured away from the mean position. Whereas restoring force acts towards the mean position. Displacement measured away from the mean position. Restoring force acts towards the mean position. Okay, now we know that restoring force, any type of force, is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass is constant, so we can write down that acceleration is directly proportional to negative of displacement. So simple harmonic motion can also be defined as it is an oscillating motion in which the acceleration is directly proportional to negative of displacement. The acceleration is acting towards the mean position. Displacement is measured away from the mean position. So acceleration is directly proportional to negative of displacement. Okay, now let's come back to this equation. F is equal to some constant A. Okay, so this K we are going to call it as the spring constant. We'll come to it later. Okay, some constant A. Forces mass into the acceleration minus A2y. So the acceleration can be written as minus K by M. Okay, this K by M is constant. K is proportionality constant and M is the mass of the body, which is actually constant. So acceleration is equal to minus K upon A. Okay, so such a motion we call it as the simple harmonic motion in which the particle is moving due to the restoring force which is directly proportional to the negative of displacement, or acceleration is directly proportional to the negative of displacement. Displacement measured away from the mean position, restoring force or the acceleration acting towards the mean position. So such a motion we call it as the simple harmonic motion. Okay, now it can be represented as the projection of uniform circular motion. So here we'll discuss how from the uniform circular motion we can find out the displacement equation of simple harmonic. Okay, so uniform circular motion. Okay, then we'll come to the equation of SH. This short form SH. Simple harmonic motion is. Okay, so uniform circular motion. We have already studied that a particle which is moving along the circumference of a circle with a constant speed, such a motion we call it as uniform circular motion. Okay, now this is the x-axis, y-axis, let this be the particle is moving along the circumference of the circle. Okay, at t is equal to 0, let the particle start from here. After time t, it reaches a point p, making some angle theta. If this particle is moving with an angular velocity omega, this theta is equal to omega into t. We know that angular velocity is angular displacement upon time. So theta is equal to omega into t. Okay, when the particle is here, it is displaced along x-axis through some distance. So this is the displacement along x-axis. Okay, also it is displaced to some distance along y-axis. So this is the displacement along y-axis. As it keeps on moving with the time, this x and y will be changing. So here we will find out the displacement equation. The displacement equation for the particle which is moving in uniform circular motion, and this can be represented as the projection of uniform circle. The simple harmonic motion can be represented as the projection of this uniform circular motion. Okay, now let's find out this x distance. Okay, let O to P. This is the maximum displacement. Okay, if the point P is here, this OP is the maximum displacement. And maximum displacement, we call it as the amplitude. So let OP is equal to A. Now let's find out the x displacement using the trigonometric ratios. Cos omega t is equal to base upon hypotenuse. So cos omega t is equal to what is the base? X distance, hypotenuse is OB, which is the amplitude. So x is equal to A cos omega t. Is the displacement equation. for this particle which is moving in uniform circular motion and it can be presented as SHM. So this is the displacement equation for a particle executing SHM. X is equal to A cos omega t. Okay, now here let's find out the displacement along y-axis also. So finding out this is the y. So this is also equal to y. So find sine omega t from here. Sine omega t is equal to perpendicular. Perpendicular is y upon hypotenuse. Y is equal to a sine omega t. So this is the displacement along y-axis. The displacement. So these are the displacement equations for SHM. These are the displacement equations for simple for a particle executing. X is equal to A cos omega t or y is equal to A sin. These are the displacement. Okay, now here, if the particle A is equal to 0, particle is starting from here. If the particle suppose is starting from, let's take another figure. If the particle is already making some angle. Okay, in the previous case, we have considered that T is equal to 0 is here, particle is starting from here. Now let the particle is starting from here. This is T is equal to 0. And after time t, it reaches a point. After time t, it is reaching a point. Okay, so initially it is already making some angle, let it is equal to phi. Initially it is making, or you can write out phi naught. Initially it's already making some angle with the horizontal how much? Phi naught. And t is equal to 0. So after time t, it is making an angle omega t. Now the displacement equation can be written as cos omega t plus phi naught. Is it so? The same way we'll find out x is equal to using the same formula cos omega t plus phi naught is equal to x upon t. So now x will be equal to a cos omega t plus phi naught. This phi naught is the initial phase. Here the initial phase is 0 because the displacement equations of x is equal to a cos omega t and y is equal to a sin omega t. So here the initial phase is 0. Phi naught is 0. There is no initial phase. But here it's making some initial phase. So this phi naught is the initial phase. The same way along y-axis is can be written as a sin omega t plus phi naught. Here this phi naught is called as the initial phase or the other name of it is epoch. So it's already making some angle initially, so this we call it as the initial. So these are the displacement equations for a particle executing SHM. Initially, it's starting from here only, initial phase is 0. If it is making some angle, then it will be phi naught, then the initial phase. Okay, so here we got the displacement equations for a particle. Okay, using this uniform circular motion, we have derived the displacement. Okay, now some terms related to periodic motion, oscillating motion. Let's discuss some terms and then we'll again come back to this displacement equation. We'll find out the velocity acceleration of particle. Okay, first let's discuss some terms related to SHM. Okay, SHM is simple harmonic motion is oscillating. Terms related to SHM. First one is displacement. Displacement is the distance moved away from the mean position. You can write down distance moved away from the mean. Distance moved away from the mean position. Okay, and its equation. Any one equation you can write either along y-axis or along x-axis. So along y-axis, let us write down the equation a sin omega t if the initial phase is 0. So this is the displacement equation for a particle x. The next one is amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum displacement. Okay, so amplitude you can write down maximum displacement. Maximum displacement is called as the amplitude. Now in this equation, what is the amplitude here? A is the amplitude. This is the maximum displacement. The displacement maximum. When sine omega t is equal to 1. Okay, whenever this factor is 1, y is equal to 8. So sine omega t is maximum, y is maximum, and that maximum displacement we call it as the amplitude. The next is frequency. Okay, before frequency, let's discuss time period. Time period is defined as the time taken to complete one oscillation. Write down the time taken to complete one oscillation. Time taken to complete one oscillation. Okay, here this omega is the angular frequency, which is equal to pi into nu. Pi into frequency we are coming. Okay, and nu is what? Reciprocal of time period. So 2 pi upon capital T. So from here, time period is equal to 2 pi upon omega. Time period is equal to 2 pi. This is the time period. Next is frequency. Frequency is the number of oscillations completed in 1 second. Right now, number of oscillations completed in 1 second. Number of oscillations completed in 1 second is represented by nu. This is the symbol for nu, the Greek symbol. We represent it by nu, and it is the reciprocal of time. It's the reciprocal of time period. Reciprocal of time period. Write the next one. Angular frequency. Angular frequency is this frequency multiplied by 2 pi, which we represented by omega. Frequency multiplied by 2 pi is omega. So angular frequency is 2 pi into nu. Okay, what is the unit of frequency? Unit of frequency is hertz. Unit of frequency is hertz. This will be in radians. Okay, then next. Write the next phase. Write down phase is what? It is that physical quantity which is completely representing the position and the direction of an oscillating particle. Or just you can understand the argument of sine or cosine. That is called as the phase. Argument of sine or cosine. What is the argument of sine over here? Omega t. Or it may be omega t plus phi naught if initial phase is not 0. So what is phase? The argument of, right now, the argument of sine or cosine. Argument of sine or cosine. So here it may be omega t plus phi naught or it may be omega t. Where phi naught is what? Initial phase. Phi naught is initial phase. If phi naught is equal to 0, if initial phase is 0, then the phase is equal to omega. Okay, then you can write the phase is equal to omega t only. Like the phase is omega t. So the argument of sine or cosine we call it as. So this is the argument of sine omega t if the initial phase is. If the initial phase is not 0, omega t plus phi naught. Phi naught is what? Initial phase, which we also call it as initial phase 0, omega. Initial phase exists, omega plus. This we call it as the phase. Next is phase difference. Phase difference is if two particles are vibrating, the lack of harmony between the two particles. Okay, one will be vibrating reached earlier at that particular time and the other one reached later on. So there is a phase difference between the two particles. So write down lack of harmony between two vibrating particles. Lack of harmony between two vibrating particles. Let one particle which is vibrating has an equation A sine omega. The second particle which is migrating its amplitude something else. Let us consider it to be V. And it is omega t plus pi by 2. So what is the phase difference between the two particles? This is the phase of the first particle, this is the phase of the second particle. Phase differences. Subtract these two phases, you will get the phase difference. What is the phase difference? Omega t plus pi by 2 minus omega t. So what is the phase difference here? Pi by 2 is the phase difference. So phase difference here is pi by 2. So phase difference means lack of harmony of two vibrating particles. Let these are the equations of two vibrating particles. This is the phase of the first vibrating particle. This is the phase. Find the difference of it. That you will get it as the phase difference. Okay, so suppose it is omega t plus pi, and this is omega t. So a sin omega t. Then the phase difference, and it will be pi. So phase difference is the lack of harmony between the two vibrating particles. Okay. So these are some terms related to SHM we have studied. Now we come back to the displacement equation of SHM. We'll find its velocity, we'll find its acceleration, we'll plot the graph. Okay, so let us write the heading. Velocity, displacement and acceleration of SHM. Okay, this we are going to discuss later on. Okay, that is in the next class, in the next uploading, it will be discussed. So kindly note it down in your copy so that when you write, it will be more clear, you will understand, you will learn also. So write in the copy and then revise it.